Hello fellow glue sniffers and sprue snippers, and welcome back to Blitzkrieg Model Works. I'm Bob, you know me as Darkline on the forums. How's it going, everybody? So we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to do a quick little tool review. For those of you who haven't had the pleasure of dealing with super glue before, those of us that deal with resin and very small photo etch and white metals, we are kind of stuck with using super glue as you normally get. Like this is gap filling, it's fairly thick. This is super thin. This stuff is like water. If you're just putting it on a part, you can usually use the applicator. What most people will end up doing though is decanting it onto a piece of paper. I actually have sheets of glass on either sides of my immediate workbench, so I put it on there, and people will just use a Q-tip to pick some up and glob it onto a part. One way to make these work a little better is if you split. I'm trying to do this. Kind of there. Kind of split the tip. Get the idea. Kind of like that. Although it'll be a lot smaller, it'll be on that end, and you use that because the super glue will tend to flow into the gap, and then it will try to flow out. That's kind of a stop gap. So way back in the day, my big thing was to use sewing needles. Now this is a kind of a, you don't have to thread it through the eye. That's actually got an opening on the end. You can snap the thread through, and these worked really well, although they were a bit on the large side. Fairly inexpensive, but they're kind of hard to handle. It's a pin. So what some would do, and I don't know where I had mine, is we would stick these into old paintbrushes. We'd cut the ends off and stick them in and actually super glue them in. And then once you'd done your super glue, you'd take your little jar of acetone or super glue debonder or whatnot, or put it in there. Or some guys would actually use a lighter and burn the super glue off. Well, there is a product out there right now made by our friends at Flex-I-File called the CA-ndle or the CA-ndle or CA-ndle. And what it is it is a X-Acto / Excel type cross jaw collet handle, and 4 different sizes. You get 2 of each of the actual applicator. Sorry for the glare. There's actually a vinyl protective coat on this. Now this is photo etch, just like you'd normally get from Aber or Lion Roar or Voyager, except it is like really thick. So this is almost Tamiya. Sorry to rank on Tamiya's photo etch, but it is pretty atrocious stuff. But this is because it's a tool as opposed to photo etch parts. You can kind of see this is an Aber set for the Stug 3 I was working on. You can kind of see the difference there. So how these work is you just take the piece that you want off of the fret, and hopefully these are Xuron photo etch scissors. Can almost get in there. And these, because they're not parts, you can just tear them off. We're going to use the smallest one, and you can see it's got that nice little gap in it. So for an example, what we're going to do is I've got this tiny, believe it or not, this is one piece photo etch that you fold into a box. This is from Aber's Stug 3 set, and you modify the kit Tamiya hammer, and it stores in like so. It's not focusing very well, but you get the idea. And then there's one of those lovely little clamps that goes on the other end of the side there, handle. So I'm trying to find where the gaps all are. And this is something you do not want to have this in your hand when you do this, because it is going to be a bit of a gong show otherwise. So I'm sorry, I'm doing this slightly off cameras. It's like so. So you just want to kind of load it up, almost like a fountain pen, for those that remember fountain pens. And I'm just using the gap filling stuff. This is actually working pretty well. Just like a fountain pen, the glue is flowing into the joint as best as this viscosity can do. And I know you can't see it, I don't have it quite close enough, but from my angle it actually, I don't know how close I can get here before it doesn't want to focus. It actually flowed right into the joint really, really well. And that actually, honestly, I've been using the pin method for years prior to leaving the hobby, and that works phenomenally, phenomenally better. Didn't fly off the bench. Phenomenally better. These are actually, next kit I do with a bunch of photo etch, I'll use one of these exclusively, maybe one of the other sizes. I said you have 4 different sizes, so you get 2 of each. And once the super glue is set up on there, I just have a little jar of acetone I use for general cleaning, and I just dunk it in and let it soak. That worked quite well. I probably, honestly, could have used the super thin stuff. Gonna let it focus in there. And then if you want to force cure the super glue, you can use your Instaset or Zap-A-Gap, whatever brand you're using. Some guys like to spray it, as I said in my tool review or beginner's tool video. I don't like the smell of this stuff, so I tend to just use it as a dropper on the end. And she's done. That is it. So I'm actually, never having used one of these before, pretty impressed. Again, Flex-I-File candles. I picked this up locally at a hobby shop here in Canada. It was about $24 Canadian, not including tax. Your mileage may vary. So again, the Flex-I-File candles. So far, first try, I'm impressed. I'd recommend. Thanks for watching, guys. Any constructive comments, please leave in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.